Wait. There we go.
Welcome to the Hockey Nation Live Show with your host, Coach Francis, directly from the booth. And we have to go all the way to the West Coast to find our co-host, Michael Divillano. Happy
Morning, Pierre.
I negative again. I went to the test this morning. Another one. So we're still negative. The hockey ring asked us to do one test per week.
That's fine. You're negative.
It's all good. Ready to rock and roll again. Happy Wednesday, Hockey Nation fans. Welcome to another great show we have. We have a couple of breaking news. So let's start with the one happening yesterday. The undrafted defenseman for the Philadelphia Flyers, Philip Myers, signed a new contract of 3 years at $7.65 million and a $2.55 million AAV for Philip Myers. Well-deserved, play amazing during the playoff, and it's another great story in hockey. I think, those guys like Martin St. Louis and those who have undrafted or they get an opportunity to play hockey and then they go from the back, I always said the back door, and then they're showing up at the right time, take opportunity to grow and to take time with patience and perseverance and never give up. It's another case, Michael. I think you can talk a lot about Philip Myers.
I really like Philip Myers. He's a guy that's like undrafted, came a little bit late blooming, and man, he's like a top 3 defenseman in my opinion. So to get him at that price is really good. Kudos to Ron Hextall, who identified him. He played for Team Canada, played very well. Like, to get a 6'5" defenseman that can skate and shoot and do all the things he does is really kind of rare.
Yeah. No, I think he did play well. Like, hopefully he would keep his continuous learning, and he's the case on those like this player, like what I like is they are not on the right chair, like like the attention are for the bigger and better defensemen, like they have Flyers, and then you have a guy like this is 6'6".
Yeah, like he's 6'5" at least.
So is a big guy. I think he's a top 4 over there now, and he's doing well, and I think he's going to be I like the fact he said at 2.55 per year right now. It's not expensive for the Flyers. It's a good deal, and he need to get a couple of years under his belt before he get more money at some point. So I think it's a good thing to sign up. Flyers moving the right way with a couple of contract with the RFA, a lower price, everything like that. So that's very good for the organization. And I think you're right about X-Style, and I think the three coaches over there, Vigneault, Terrier, and Yo, bring that team to the next level, and that's pretty much what they are doing right there. So good job for the Flyers. Good, well-deserved for Philip Myers. And
he might be their number 2 defenseman, Pierre.
I'm sorry again?
He might be their number 2 defenseman.
Now, they lost Niskanen, right?
Yeah.
So he's maybe chair, and then I think, they have a couple of players there. But I think
Provorov's definitely
maybe not the right chair for him. But 3 and 4, I think he's going to be hanging there very well. I think it's not too much pressure for him right now. But I think you have a possibility to go a higher level if you turn that. But we'll see for upcoming season. Talking about the news, I want to mention is like Bettman, reconfirmed. But again, everybody knows they're going to have a Canadian Division 7 team, and then it's confirmed also, but it's not confirmed, but we expect 3 division of 8 team. Here's what I'm thinking. They're really talking about 56 game. The owners would like to have more game, but at some point they cannot. I really believe they're going to, Michael, to have 3 division of 8 team. They're going to play 8 times versus 7 other team, and they're not going to mix the division. Does it make sense to you?
So 3 divisions of 8 U.S. teams and 1 Canadian division of 7.
Yeah, and
makes sense.
And then in USA, example, we call it like this: the East Division, right? And those 8 teams together, they only going to play each other. They're not going to move on, shifting or play again other division.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Canada is going to be 6 time, no, 9 time again the same team, and then they're going to pick 2 teams. Example like Montreal going to play an extra game against Ottawa and Toronto. Then Winnipeg again. Example two other team. It could be Alberta and not Alberta, but Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver pick it up 2 other game like that. So that's they expect to do that for the division in Canada. So that's what happening there. They still talking about direction, about different things. The problem they get right now is like a team like in San Jose and those teams in California cannot play home. So they maybe do the same thing like the 49ers did, play their game outside the state. They have other state like this right now. So they try to figure out all the different things they can do. They have,
Las Vegas.
yeah. So they are talking about different locations as
It'll be the first time Arizona actually has people in the stands.
Yeah. The other thing
Los Angeles.
the other thing they mentioned also is like, play it's like a little bit like the basketball and baseball, like play back-to-back game, maybe 3 games in 4 nights and then come back and everything like that. And the problem right now in California is you cannot practice.
So wacky.
So they have to get out some point. So that's something where they have
Vegas, Arizona, right?
Yeah, so that's what they have to finalize this with the NHL. That'll push them a couple of days to see. But many they request all the players play and right now in Sweden and Czech and whatever they are. They have to come back now. They expect that to be sure they'll be in their look and their area for be sure they don't have 14 days, everything like that. So it would be very interesting to know this. I believe the next 2 days we should know more exactly what's coming for that part. Talking about news, the Florida Panthers lead a goalie department. I think this is the first time I heard that in NHL they're going to have 4 coaches running by Roberto Luengo.
It's ridiculous.
So they're going to add with Rob Dallas. Rob Dallas is there for many years. Been a great goalie coach for the Panthers.
It does not work, Pierre.
I'm sorry again?
That's not going to work.
I think, everybody's going to have their own description job. Like his brother led Luengo. He's already goalie coach in Charlotte Shakers, so he's going to run that part. I think Francois Allais bring experience, bring a lot on the table because he's been goalie for many years. He started with Montreal, he went to Colorado, everything like that. So I think he's more like a mentors for all those 3 other coaches over there. And I think when he has this part, Luengo, when he got retired, is a member, live in Parkland, about 10 miles from the ring, and he's one of the been a big role or icon in hockey in South Florida. And after 6 months, he became an assistant adjoint to the general manager, Dave Talon, in a business operation. And then what happening after that? When Bill Zito came,
I have to jump on another call, so I'm going to leave you for a bit.
Okay. So what happening there is Florida. I think they maybe push Luengo outside of the management. And I think that's possible. The reason why they offer him, keep him in the business and offer him to be the leader, like, the management of the goalie department for the Florida Panthers. So that's what we expect. That's what we think happening over there. But it's new. I think I never see that kind of like staff goalies, coaches for one organization. So that's another thing we have to follow up. But again, I think that's something the Panthers all do well. They do well with their old players stay around in South Florida, and I think that's the reason why they gave that job to Roberto Luengo and keep him inside the organization. So that's the news for the for the Florida Panthers. Let's move on for the next news. It's a little bit about the Sweden WGC, was a world champion junior championship. The team Sweden announced yesterday a couple of cases in the positive, and some of them is going to missing the championship in Alberta this year in Canada, and two of them is really important name I want to mention to you. One is William Wallander. He was the 32 overall pick in NHL draft in 2020, and also the head coach Thomas Mudden. I can't pronounce his name to be sure it's really his good name, Thomas Munden. And of course, the Detroit Red Wings defenseman prospect William Wallander are not going to participate, and they are ineligible to participate to the 2021 World Junior Championship after the testing positive for the COVID-19 this week. So we are hearing more and more players from other countries. We already know, yes, 2 days ago, Canada have 5 new cases, 5 players cannot participate. We have a couple from USA. We mentioned 3 players. They are not. They are ineligible to participate now. And now Germany announced also yesterday 2 players, if I can recall it. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 1, but again, we can see now the thing. Some people ask me about is it like they are going to cancel? I don't think so. By the way, the president of IIHF got testing positive yesterday too. I don't think so. They're going to cancel it, but at some point, I don't know how this is going to turn around over there. It will be very interesting. That will be maybe show testing for the what's going could happen for the NHL. So the NHL is going to be really caution and careful to see how they're going to turn this tournament about the COVID situation. Talking about COVID situation, also about because the NHL thinking to return January 13. Some big name prospect already draft. Some team in NHL, they are thinking to let them, some of their players, to participate now to that tournament, because that would give them a time to be on the ice and to be a little bit more ready for the camp, for the training camp in January. Is it, we don't hear any players right now to do it, but my point to you is they are thinking to do it. We're going to hear that, but unfortunately they are running time. This week, many team is cutting players. I believe the Team USA have already 29 players right now at the camp. Jake Sanderson doing very well over there. And Team Canada is going to cut some players after the scrimmage tomorrow and Friday. And they're going to drop the camp, the players, you know, the training camp maybe at 20, 30, and then maybe cut a couple more players in case the COVID test could happen. Testing players maybe could be a problem at some point. So I just want to remind you the exhibition game are scheduled from December 20 to the 23rd. We expect all the teams coming now in Canada the next 24 to 48 hours. You have to remember they have 14 days in quarantine. They have to do this, and so really interesting how this tournament is going to play, because COVID situation is not easy, and could be have so many rebound and some outbreak, everything like that. So we'll see. It's something we have to follow up on the daily, day by day, because he could have it. Many things could happen about that. So talking about news around the NHL or around the world, I want to mention this. And again, I'm not sure that could happen, but they talk about maybe the Vegas Golden Knights. They are thinking to trade Matt Pacioretty. They still have 3 more years on his $7 million contract per year. The 32 years old, it could be on the trade bait. Here's what I want to bring to you about the Vegas Golden Knights. They are over salary cap, and I think it's a $2 million, so 1 point something, and they still have to sign 2 more players. So that would increase the salary cap. They have only 21 players signed. So the situation now, they have to find someone somehow to trade someone. So we thought at some point Olden, Nosek, they maybe talk about Ran Raves, and then they are talking about Martian. So, and the biggest thing is that Fleury is still also have a 2 more years, 1 more year at $7 million. So signed Robin Leonard a couple of weeks ago. They said, okay, maybe we can let it go Fleury. But now Leonard got in surgery. It's not going to be ready for the beginning of the year. So they cannot maybe trade Fleury. And at $7 million is not going to be any team going to get him at that money. And the Golden Knight cannot keep money on Fleury because they are over salary. So it's a very bad situation. Like Tampa is also, we talked about them a couple of days ago. So they have to, McGraman had to figure out something there. So some movements going happening in Vegas the next couple of days and weeks and figure out what they're going to do. So we have to stay around that news and figure out what that team will go. So that's what's happening with that, with the Golden Knights about the salary cap. Now, one was talking earlier about the players maybe join their team. Example, like the Toronto Leafs with Nick Robertson could maybe join the Team USA at some point to let him play and to be more ready for the camp in January. So the Toronto Maple Leafs, they are thinking to do that possibility at that kind of player like him to do that. That's maybe something you have to get there after that. But again, by the time Robinson get back and goes through the 8 days mandatory quarantine, he won't be available for the Maple Leaf until the January 14th. So his decision is pending right now in the case of Nick Robinson. So that's another news around around this part of there. I want to mention also that this not a rumor, and I don't want you guys thinking about that part of there, but they are thinking maybe NHL to exempt a player per team from the cap. So it's a question for you. What do you think about that? What do you think about the NHL to can exempt a player per team from the cap? I don't have no specific rule. I don't say it should be the higher salary or the middle salary, everything like that. I just mentioned to you, agent want the NHL to exempt a player from the cap. So it's really interesting about that. I think it's something we can talk. So it's a question for you. What do you think about this? So maybe when Mike is going to be back, I maybe ask this question to him and ask about the situation, what he can thinking about that, about maybe the fact like, add some players. Some other expert maybe talking about they maybe extend their roster at the beginning from the AHL players. That's something they could add to. But the other, they don't have specific finalized agreement yet for the upcoming season. The games, where are play, the division, what are they, what is the roster, right? And what's the format for the playoff? We all talking about upcoming season, but what would be the playoff? How are they going to define those kind of playoff? If they play only by division, are they going to pick the top 4? Are they going to let it go top 6? Again, how they can go, because Canada is 1 up and a 3 down. Are they going to go, at some point, if you go top 4, now you have 12 teams start, and then you're going to have 16, and then you're going to maybe have 2 teams from Canada. That's make 8 teams, and then you bring all those 8 teams in one area. I don't know. And again, this just bring to you guys about the playoff upcoming season. So we have a lot still to finalize and to have that proposed to the players, NHLPA, and also go to the NHL together and go from there. So will be very interesting to see what this going to turn around about that and go from there. So that's what I believe it could happen. That's a lot of discussion could do it also and see really the situation for the NHL for the next couple of days. And I predict, and many experts predict the season going starting January 13th, and we are excited about this. We're missing hockey. I'm sure you're fans. I'm sure you're passionate about the game. You love the game. You want just this game come back quicker and faster. So we are already excited about the WGC going to start the next 13, 14 days and see what could happen. So that's a story we can follow up, everything like that. I want, like Michael said earlier, we are going to talk about the Buffalo Sabres, their situation for the protect their player for the Seattle Kraken. Oh my God, I have a difficult time with these words. I'll be honest with you. I don't like this no word, but it is what it is. So that's me sharing with you my screen. If I can do this with the string. All right. I don't know if you can see it. I don't see for me. So let me try again. Um, I try to open up this part of there. So let me try again. I think I need to get protection from the open up. So we are a little bit on the, give me a break right there. Give me about a few seconds to figure out with my Mac. Usually Michael do all the sharing, but he's not there. And I try to do this for you guys. So let me check that, how I can do that from my computer to give the permission to, there we go. I think it's this one over there. I apologize again. We just try to open up this soon we can. I'll be honest with you, we not know, honestly. Try to find exactly for you guys. Let's go with this one. Try to be sure we can do this. I think we can now. I think I can. We'll see now what is happening. I apologize again. It's all about try to sharing and go from there. So the Buffalo Sabres have, They have to protect again 7 forward. What's the rules for Seattle? Is each NHL have to protect 7 forward, 3 defensemen plus 1 goalies. Now, if you go with 4 defensemen, you can only protect 8 skater. It could be 5D, 3 forward, or 4D, 4 forward, or 6D, 2 forward. You know what I'm talking about, all right? And of course, you have to protect 1 goalie. So let's see what the situation of the Buffalo Sabres. First of all, both goalies going to become UFA at the end of the season. And when you become UFA, you don't have to protect you don't have to protect the players. So honestly, Buffalo don't have to protect. But again, Carter Hutton is 34 and Linus Ullmark is 27. And I really believe Buffalo is going to keep Ullman. Ullmark, you don't have to protect him, but that would be something they will definitely go there. Now, if you go under no roster goalies, they have 3 goalies over there. And I don't think so. They are access to be on the protecting list. So honestly, Buffalo is another team with no players as a goalie. And if you can go now on the situation for defensemen, first of all, they're going to protect Ristolainen. They're going to protect, those RFA like Dallin and Juki Arju, right? So they are RFAs. They don't have to be they are not going to be protect, and the rest they are UFA. So Montour, McCabe, and Irwin, they don't have to be protected by the team because they become UFA. Honestly, they're going to go with 3 defensemen anyway to keep 5 forward. And honestly, they will protect, or they can go on the roster under a lower one, but they don't have anybody they have to protect there. So I really believe they're going to add Dallin on the protect list. That gives 3, and they're going to go with 7 forward. Now, we know already they're going to have, they don't have to protect 2 players, 1 player right there. Jeff Skinner, he have a no move clause, so you have to be on the list right there. You have no choice, right? They're going to have Jack Eagle, that's number 2. Taylor Hall is a UFA, they let it go. Now, the situation with Carl Aposo, I think they're going to let him go. They're not going to protect this at $6 million at 32 years old. They let it go. Sam Reinhart is a RFA. Eric Stahl is a UFA. Don't have to protect him. Victor Arlovson, they're going to protect him. And they're going to protect after that Tage Thompson. They have to go also with Cody Hagen. That's what they have right now. They maybe protect Curtis Lazar, but I'm not sure if they will do it. On the no roster players, they have just looking for the no forward roster right now in front of them. I don't see right now any players right there. Maybe Casey Mitchell's stats. They will have to protect him, but he's at 10.2 C next season. So it's another player they have to figure out. This, honestly, doing this by myself without Michael, it's a little bit hard. I would think I would have to wait for Michael when he's coming back and talking more about the situation for the Buffalo Sabres, for the protection list for them to present to the Seattle new team in NHL. So let's see tomorrow. Let's go back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We already used 30 minutes here. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Most by myself. This happening sometime. And look forward to see you. Don't forget our daily show tonight on my PDI show around 5 o'clock. We're going to go back to you guys with 8 different subjects around the NHL, what happening during the day. Have an amazing, great Wednesday, everybody.